Hey, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I am Velvet Phantom EXE, and I want to talk about Arc Raiders, but at a different kind of level. So you guys have seen me stream and upload videos on YouTube with Arc Raiders, and I love this game. I think it's one of the best games that released in the past few years. Me lady? How do you know I'm a lady?
What you shoot me.
What?
In the beginning, you shoot me.
Wait, that wasn't you. That was another guy.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you.
What? What?
You can't accuse him of shooting you. It wasn't him.
I got only one pixel of light.
Well, you can have... Here you go. You got some fabric.
Did you shoot this guy?
Wait. We haven't done shit.
Almost died.
Let's take the fucking fabric right there. Use that to heal. You got healers right here, bro. What the hell? However, as the psychology and biological nerd that I am, so I want to go through with you guys a little bit of a psychological analysis with this game that I think a lot of people are really not thinking about. Arc Raiders is usually described as a PvP, PvE extraction shooter. That description explains the mechanics. It does not explain the human behavior behind it. What the game actually does is that it recreates conditions similar to early human survival, and then it kind of removes the social and moral buffers that we rely on in modern life. So to understand why the game attracts some people and repel others, we need to start with biology. So regarding human threat systems, we as humans are not designed to respond strongly to abstract threats. We actually evolved to survive immediate danger, in small groups, with limited resources, with visible risk and clear consequences. So that's actually the environment that our nervous system understands. Arc, the machines, are large, faceless, impersonal. They have no intention, no morality, no social meaning. They just function like a natural disaster. They're dangerous, but they're not personal. And that kind of threat actually does not fully activate our social threat systems. But other players do. Why do other humans matter more in this game? The other players kind of represent competition for resources, unpredictable behavior, visible bodies, direct consequences. So in early human societies, this mattered way more than predators. Predators were rare, other humans were constant. So Arc Raiders kind of recreates that whole structure. Loot functions as food, extraction functions as kind of shelter, and the map functions as the contested territory. So Arc kind of just becomes the environment, and humans become the threat. So that is actually not a design trick, it's an evolutionary match. And regarding the stress and cognition in the game, so under stress, the brain kind of simplifies. It reduces nuance, it speeds up decisions, and it favors recognition over analysis. And that's something that is very well documented in neuroscience. So this is why players quickly rely on outfits, movement patterns, repeated names, and why like big streamers kind of created big factions in the game to begin with. These are cues that reduces cognitive load for us as humans. So they kind of help answer one question really quickly. Is this person a risk or not? So this is how tribes kind of form. It's not through ideology, it's through pattern recognition. So the streamer-centered group are not like a social trend, they're a coalition. So they offer predictability, a shared behavior, a clear us versus them. In evolutionary terms, this kind of improves the survival odds. So Arc Raiders compresses what normally takes generations into days to form. And then there's the cooperation versus the betrayal. Cooperation between strangers is not stable by default, it's conditional. So it only works when resources seem sufficient, the external threat is clear, and outcomes feel shared. The moment that scarcity appears, the calculation changes. Extraction gets close, loot becomes limited, progression diverges, and the brain kind of shifts strategy. It's not a moral failure, it's just risk management. Permanent loss and limited information amplifies this effect. So under these conditions, humans reliably prioritize control. One might wonder then, why does human versus Arc fail? It's because humans are not wired for large-scale unity. We are wired for small groups, direct exchange, and visible feedback. Arc is just too large of a threat. It's too abstract for us to take in, and it's too impersonal. We simply cannot build an identity against it. Other humans are easier because they have faces, they make choices, and they carry resources. So competition dominates, not because people are bad, but because our biology has limits. And then there's the individual differences. there are people who are going to say that they don't like the PvP in a game like Arc Riders, and that's usually framed as a matter of taste, but looking at it psychologically, it actually isn't. It's a stress response. So what they're actually saying is they don't want other humans to be the main source of unpredictability. Not because they are afraid of conflict, but because the social uncertainty under real consequence is cognitively expensive for these people. So PvE threats follows rules. They can be learned, predicted, optimized around. Human opponents don't work that way. They act on intention, they break patterns, and they don't signal their moves in advance. So for some nervous systems, that difference isn't exciting, it's overwhelming. In a tribal context, these people aren't frontline fighters. They aren't driven by dominance or territory, they're the ones who stabilize the group. The gatherers, the planners, the builders. The people who maintain system and keep resources flowing. In early human societies, these roles were not secondary, they were essential. So, because internal conflict is costly, violence inside the group weakens survival. Unpredictable aggression fractures trust. So for this type of person, PvP doesn't trigger a flight response, it triggers system stress. So this is where Arc Riders become a poor match for them. The game combines a permanent loss, moral ambiguity, and social betrayals. And social betrayal as a core mechanic. Mistakes that can't be quickly corrected, so it's often unclear who is ally and who is threat. And players are actively rewarded for breaking unspoken cooperation. For people oriented towards stability, long-term planning, and coordinated effort, this doesn't feel intense or challenging. It just feels chaotic and pointless for them. And that reaction is completely logical. Human groups always included different roles. Some individuals are built for high risk and confrontation, others are built to kind of reduce conflict and preserve coercion. Problem only arises when preference is mistaken for morality. So when someone says PvP ruins the game, what they usually mean is that it disrupts the kind of interaction their nervous system is built to handle. That isn't wrong, but Arc Riders isn't designed around that role. The uncomfortable part is that both sides are right. PvP does destabilize cooperation, tribal conflict does escalate fast, and the game do become harsh. But that isn't a design failure, it's the point. Arc Riders shows what happens when there's no central authority, resources are limited, and humans interact without contracts. Some people thrive in that environment, others don't. And that's not a personal flaw. In a real tribe, the people who avoid PvP would be the backbone. So the game isn't for everyone. In Arc Riders, it's a system that strips away civilization and shows how different nervous systems respond when fairness is no longer guaranteed. Thank you so much for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like more Arc Riders stuff, or just simply gaming overall, or just deep talks like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would also really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up, that would help a lot. Don't forget to check my social media, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.